Okay, let's just jump right in. The internet, as we've known it for, well, decades, is going through a massive seismic shift. I mean, the very foundation of how we find information is changing right under our feet. This is creating what we're calling a post-SEO world. And honestly, it's both a huge challenge and a pretty big opportunity. So let's break down what is actually happening.
You see, for the last 2 decades, there was this unspoken deal, right? A simple contract. Creators and publishers, they'd make great content, and in return, search engines would send them traffic. That simple trade was the engine for the entire digital economy. Well, that contract? It's been torn up. It's been rewritten without anyone asking us.
So what does this broken contract actually mean for everyone? For creators, for businesses, for you? It means that foundational promise that powered the open web for 20 years, free, reliable traffic from a search, well, it's just evaporating right before our eyes. And this brings us to the core concept we have to wrap our heads around. We are officially living in the era of the zero-click internet. Think about it. Your search journey is getting cut short. The answer you're looking for just pops up right there on the results page and poof, the need to actually click on a website just vanishes.
So what's driving all this? Well, the catalyst for this huge change is the evolution of search engines themselves. They're not just digital librarians anymore, pointing you to the right aisle. No, they've become incredibly powerful answer engines. And this shift it's fundamental. We've moved from a world of search and retrieval, you get a list of 10 blue links and you have to do the work yourself, to a world of search and synthesis. Now an AI does all the heavy lifting, reads everything for you, and just hands you a single convenient answer. I mean, that's great for the user, right? But it's potentially catastrophic for the publisher.
And the data, wow, the data really shows just how big this shift is. By 2026, it's predicted that a full 60% of all search sessions will end without a single click to an outside website. 60%? That means the majority of questions are going to be answered and just contained right there inside the search engine itself.
So let's try to quantify this impact, because we're not talking about a gentle slope here. This is a traffic cliff. And a lot of businesses, well, they've already gone right over the edge.
This is the number that should be keeping marketers and publishers up at night. A 65% drop in clicks for any search result that has to compete with an AI-generated answer. It's not just a drop, it's an almost complete cannibalization of the click. It's just gone.
And check this out. The damage goes way beyond just organic results. I mean, look at the collateral damage to paid ads. The click-through rate for ads that show up next to an AI answer absolutely plummets. We're talking by nearly 70%. People just get their answer and completely ignore the ads. And on mobile, it's even worse. It's pretty much becoming a completely closed loop.
And look, this isn't some theoretical, far-off thing. We're seeing the real-world fallout right now. Finance sites like Hard Bacon bankrupt after their traffic just nosedived. Legacy media giants are filing for bankruptcy. News publishers are seeing their referral traffic completely collapse. And travel bloggers, they're losing huge chunks of revenue because the AI is just the new middleman. It's happening.
But okay, I know, it's not all doom and gloom. It really isn't. Because this massive disruption is creating a whole new playbook for anyone who's willing to adapt. The old rules of SEO are dying, for sure, but a new strategy is emerging, and it's called geo. This slide here, this shows the fundamental pivot in strategy. It's so important. Traditional SEO was all about the art of optimizing your documents so you could rank on a list of links. The new strategy, GEO, or Generative Engine Optimization, is the practice of structuring your data so perfectly that the AI cites you in its answer. You see the difference? The goal is no longer to rank. The goal is to become the source of truth.
So you're probably asking, how do you do that? Well, it really comes down to 3 technical pillars. First is schema markup, which is kind of like a universal language that helps AIs perfectly understand your data. Second, there's a new standard called LLMs.txt, which basically just creates a clean, easy-to-read file for AI crawlers. And third, something called C2PA authenticity. Think of it like a cryptographic blue check mark that proves your content is verified and human-made, which is a huge deal in a world flooded with AI content.
And here's exactly why those technical steps matter so much. Research is showing that a stunning 86% of AI citations come from brand-managed sources. I mean, that just debunks the whole myth that AI is just scraping Wikipedia, right? The takeaway is crystal clear. If you give the AI clean, structured, trustworthy data, it will prefer to use you as the ground truth. So this new reality is creating what you could call a great divide, a huge split on the web. There are going to be very clear winners who adapt to this new ecosystem, and there are going to be losers who just cling to the old rules.
So who loses in this new world? Well, primarily, it's the middlemen of information. We're talking about affiliate sites that just compare products, content farms that just churn out low-quality pages at scale, and those static brochure websites. They're all at risk of just becoming invisible to the AI.
So if those are the losers, who are the winners? Well, the winners are anyone creating things that an AI just can't easily replicate. Think about human influencers. Their value is their authentic opinion. Think about video creators. Video is almost like a media moat. It's really difficult for an AI to synthesize. And most importantly, brands that own unique, proprietary data that the AI has no choice but to cite.
This quote from BuzzFeed's recent and very successful pivot just says it all. You can't rely on being found accidentally through some search query anymore. Nope. The new goal is to be sought. You have to build a brand, a destination that people actively look for by name.
So what's the roadmap? How do you navigate this? First, you got to be everywhere. Diversify beyond just Google into video and social. Second, get technical. You have to implement those 3 pillars of geo. Third, become the source yourself by creating original research and data. And finally, you have to change your metrics. Stop obsessing over PageRank. Start tracking your share of model, which is just a fancy way of saying how often is your brand being cited in AI answers.
And all of this leaves us with one final, critical question you have to ask yourself. The game has changed from just creating content to meticulously building your brand as an entity, a verified source of truth that this new internet simply cannot ignore. So, which one are you building?